I told the chairman, Senator John Kerry, that I wanted to go to Afghanistan to do a study on the cultivation of heroin poppy. And so I flew out to Bagram Air Base. They were waiting for me. They weren't happy about it, but I said that I needed to fly to Kandahar and then to Helmand province, the capital of Lashkar Gah, in order to do this study. I wanted to go into the poppy fields. I wanted to interview farmers. They hated the idea. It's the only time in my career that I ever pulled rank on someone. And I said, look, with all due respect, because I'm a senior congressional staff member, I have brigadier general status, and I am ordering you to fly me to Kandahar and Lashkar Gah. And we got in the helicopter and we went. Well, when we get to Lashkar Gah, we get into a couple of jeeps, and with a translator, a security detail, we go into the poppy fields and we stumble on a poppy farmer. And I asked him what in retrospect was a very naive question. I said, why do you grow poppy when instead you could grow things with 2 growing seasons, like onions or tomatoes or pomegranates? He was very frustrated with me. And he said, angrily, he said, the Americans told me in 2001 that if I told them where the Arabs were, I could grow all the poppy I wanted. I said, what Americans told you you could grow poppy? And as soon as those words came out of my mouth, my military handler said, meeting's over, we're under threat, which we weren't. He pulled me back to the Jeep, and we went back to the base. And then I had to fly back to Helmand province, to the air base at Bagram. In any event, I fly back to Washington. I write a very strongly worded report, and I send it to a friend of mine at the Drug Enforcement Agency. And he calls me back a few days later, and he said, buddy, you know you're never going to get this published, right? And I said, why not? And he said, Afghanistan produces 93% of the world's heroin. Almost all of that heroin goes to Iran and Russia, and we want them to be addicted to heroin. It weakens their societies. And of course, Senator Kerry would never allow it to be published, and I had to kill it.